Did you see that Howler teamed up with Deadspin? Oh, sorry.
You sure you're ready for this?
I'll do my best.
Your best? Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and the prom queen.
Welcome to the best soccer show. The best soccer show in the whole world.
Here we go. Best soccer show, North American Soccer Network, NASN.TV. Excuse me. Jason Davis and Jared Dubois here with you ahead of USA-Azerbaijan from San Francisco, the United States, with their first send-off series match on the march to Brazil. Jared, how you feeling about this one?
I can't name one guy in the Azerbaijan team.
I wouldn't even begin to tell you no.
So does that mean, because I don't know anyone on the team, does that mean we should beat them handily?
I believe that we should beat them. The question of over whether or not it should happen handily is open to interpretation. From what I've seen today, Azerbaijan gave their European qualifier opponents a decent run. Obviously, they didn't qualify for the World Cup, but they gave Russia some fits. They didn't get destroyed by Portugal. It was actually a bit closer than you might think. So perhaps this is something that the United States can actually treat as a test. I don't know.
Do you think people in Azerbaijan right now are like, I don't know one American?
Maybe. Bertie Vogt's on the other side, which adds a wrinkle to this, does it not?
No, it's kind of weird. I mean, if you read the quotes, Bernie Vogts is saying that Jurgen Klinsmann made no requests of him about how to play this game tactically or anything like that to help the U.S. prepare, which is kind of odd. Why pick Azerbaijan, who's played to both Germany and Portugal, if you don't want them to replicate something that I don't know. Maybe I'm drawing a line where there is no line to be drawn.
Maybe.
Don't you pick them because you think you can get something out of the fact that they've played your opponents recently?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think that necessarily translates. They're not going to play like Germany. They're not going to play like Portugal. They're not going to play like Ghana, certainly.
So maybe this is just a get Josie off the schneid game.
Well, I mean, I think it is a confidence-building type game. They are not a world beater. They may present a some resistance. They're not going to be a pushover, but you're really trying to build confidence heading into those second and third send-off series games.
Let's get to what this really is about, Jason. Is this our starting 11 for the World Cup?
Yeah, I think this is. And it's the diamond. Shine like a diamond. Diamonds are forever. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. I think this is the starting 11 for the World Cup for the first game against Ghana.
So
I believe it is.
DeMarcus Beasley is the starting left back.
I believe he is, yes.
That hurts.
217, you're on the air.
Hey, guys, this is Doug in Champaign. How's it going?
Hey, Doug, what's going on?
So I'm going to ask the big question. On the morning of June 16th, in Natal, Brazil, does Bertie Vogts wear Azerbaijan shorts or USA shorts at practice?
No, everything I've heard about Bertie is that he's not necessarily going to be involved in training or any hands-on coaching. He's going to be
a scouting capacity, right?
Flying around the country doing scouting. So I don't even think he'll be there. So it's a non-issue. But if he was there, I hope he'd be wearing some USA shorts. Maybe those Hurley joints that are out now, Jared. Maybe some just flag shorts, like the full-on, look like exactly like the flag. And
when you say flag shorts, all I think of is the pants that what's his name wore in Napoleon Dynamite. Like, do you want to see a roundhouse kick with these things coming at you?
Those and short versions of those with black socks pulled up, right? Like
I never understood people that wear stars and striped shorts. Aren't you just kind of putting your butt on the flag every time you sit down?
It's a good point. It's absolutely a good point. Let's move on. Byron's on the air. What's up, Byron? Byron. All right, I can't hear Byron. Call back, Byron. Let's talk about this lineup because we haven't gotten to it yet. We're looking at this. It's the diamond again, just like we saw against Mexico.
Wait. I'm going to stop there. We do not know that this is a diamond. You could tell me this is a 4-2-3-1, the same system that Jurgen Klinsmann played the entire qualifying with this exact same lineup. What tells you it's a diamond?
Okay, let me say it this way. U.S. Soccer is presenting it as a diamond.
Because they listed two forwards.
No, they have said it's a diamond via their official account.
Well, I'm looking at the actual release of the a screen cap of what they've given the press in the press box, and they list two forwards.
Yes, but here's how the U.S. men's national team 11 looks on the field: a 4-4-2 with a diamond midfield. USA-Azerbaijan kicks off in an hour. Picture. This is the tweet that they sent out. They're calling it a diamond. Again, whether it morphs, and it certainly will, because our first question is going to be, can Jermaine Jones stick there in that holding midfield role and be that guy to protect the back line?
Against Azerbaijan, he probably can. I'm anxious to see when we get to play a little bit tougher competition like Turkey, if he can still run the midfield defensively by himself. I'm also anxious to see the combination of Bradley. The only piece that's really changed in this is Jones. So we should see fairly same production out of Bradley unless there's some problem rhythmically between those two.
But there always is problems rhythmically. Not always. There have been problems rhythmically. And I think that just because, somebody said on Twitter, well, this is okay because it means Jones has to stay in the holding role. It's not a situation where they're going to be going back and forth off of each other. But I don't know that. Do we know that? No. Let's look at this lineup before I get to Byron, who's back on the line with us. Tim Howard in goal. DeMarcus Beasley on the left. This is causing Trevor Hayward's head to explode right now. Matt Beasler, Jeff Cameron in the middle. Fabian Johnson on the right. Jermaine Jones in the holding midfielder role. Alejandro Bedoya, left side of the diamond. Graham Zusi, right side of the diamond. Michael Bradley, top of the diamond. Clint Dempsey and Josie out the door, 2 forwards. There's your lineup. Byron, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to comment on the lineup. The only problem I really have with this lineup is DeMarcus Beasley. I hate seeing them there left back. I think he's a terrible defender. And, I mean, this is probably what the lineup is going to look against Ghana, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's good. I mean, I think that's what they're going to go with in the World Cup, except for DeMarcus.
I guess the question then, well, maybe, but again, I don't know why, if this is out in the first game and we've had DeMarcus Beasley installed as a left back, why we wouldn't think Jurgen Klinsmann capable of doing it, whether he does or not.
If you're playing Fabian on the right, I don't see who you could put on the left.
No, there's nobody else. There's nobody. Oh, well, okay. There's no left-footed defender you can play on the left.
I just understand why it is the best choice for America to convert a midfielder to left back instead of using a fullback that with a left foot in Fabian Johnson and using a natural right back. You have in Timothy Chandler sitting on the bench. Well, why are we working around this?
Guys, if you're going to play this midfield, if you're going to play the diamond, and let's assume that they try to stay tactically committed to the diamond, then you're playing narrow in the midfield and you're hoping to get overlapping runs from your fullbacks, and both of these guys are capable. Would you say the same thing? Hold on. Would you say the same thing about Timmy Chandler on the right? Is he as capable? Yes. Okay, then there's really no reason to do this then. So you're right about that. Byron, you got anything else, man?
Just a prediction.
All right.
I think we start off slow and then we win 2-0.
All right, 2-0 from Byron. Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. 612, you're on the air.
Hey, this is Andrew in Minnesota, and I'm asking if the diamond here, if the main point is to feature Michael Bradley's scoring capabilities.
Less his scoring capabilities and more his passing abilities, Jared.
Yeah, I think his passing and playmaking abilities and his ability to. Michael Bradley has been best offensively in his career when he's been in a position to arrive late in the box, and I think that's what this does.
You know, what it also is an admission that Klinsmann doesn't have another guy to play in the hole that way, because I don't think Michael Bradley is going to be positionally disciplined in the hole either. He's going to drift back. He's going to cross the midfield line at some point. I mean, I don't see how he doesn't, because his instincts will tell him otherwise.
Maybe not in this game, but...
Well, okay, this game might be different.
But come World Cup time, I agree with you.
Playing this against better competition. So, in essence, again, this is what you were sort of saying, Jared. Michael Bradley and Jermaine Jones may not play side by side, but there will be points where they are. There will be points where Jones is upfield and Bradley's covering in behind. It'll happen. I just don't think that Jones is enough like Kyle Beckerman to replicate what we saw against Mexico in the first half.
Let me ask you a question as well then, Jason. With Landon Donovan not in this camp, is Michael Bradley now the smartest, most intelligent player on this team?
Yes.
So you don't put him necessarily at the top of the diamond because he's the most creative guy, because he knows where to be, where to find the rhythm of the game. When does he need to track back? How much should he be tracking back? How much should he commit to the attack? When should he time a run to contribute to the attack? You're putting your most intelligent player in the most important position. He may not be the most creative, the most classic 10, top of the diamond type guy, but you're putting your smartest guy where he'll get the ball the most and can influence most of the game.
That's 100% what it is. That's 100% what it is. There's no 10 in this team. I mean, you could argue that Mix Diskerud is a 10 on
10-ish.
some, but the other problem with Mix is that he doesn't give you enough defensively to make up for the fact that you're not playing a double pivot, right?
It's weird with Mikhail Diskerud. He's a dime piece, but he's not a 10.
Okay, sure. I'm going to go ahead and drop that in. Why not?
Rodius.
By the way, I feel like I did not use this nearly enough when we talked about the roster. It's over. The choppers, all the seats are filled on the chopper now. Let me see. Who do I have? Go ahead. Who do I have on the line? 419.
Hey, this is Nick from Village. How you doing?
What's up, Nick?
I just wanted to get your thoughts on the center back combo. Normally we see Omar back there, obviously coming on off of an injury, but you still think Cameron's our starting center back going forward?
I think it's likely. I was going to say probable, but it's the same sort of thing. I'm just taking back a little bit. Go ahead.
The weird thing is, and you nailed it when you said it, Caller, is that it's hard to know for sure because Omar Gonzalez is coming off an injury. So Omar Gonzalez probably wasn't likely to start this game anyway, no matter what. So now you're left wondering, did he choose Jeff Cameron for center back because he sees him there, or because Omar Gonzalez isn't fit for 90 minutes?
He's been consistent. You mean as a starter? Okay, because he's been consistent about Cameron being a center back. So this is not new on that front. But
he's had the choice to use him, and he's used Omar Gonzalez even when Cameron's been available to him in the past.
This is true. You get the feeling that maybe not this game, maybe the Turkey game, maybe the Nigeria game are auditions for Jeff Cameron to overtake Omar Gonzalez as the preferred starting center back. I think that switch may have already happened. I really do. But I have no reason to think that other than my gut, what Klinsmann must have seen based on what we've seen.
I think in a game like this, Jeff Cameron he'll look very good in this game. First of all, Azerbaijan doesn't seem likely to really force the issue at the center back position for the U.S., and they'll have plenty of time and the ability to play out of the back, and that favors right into Jeff Cameron's strengths.
That's the thing about Cameron that is a big difference, a big advantage over Omar. It's his ability to play with the ball at his feet. 203, you're on the air.
Hey, Jason. Hey, Jared. How are you?
We're good. What's up?
Well.
All right. I have one question. If Julian Green happens to play for the next 3 matches, will his performances be affected by the way he plays if he plays in the World Cup? His performances.
I'm not really sure that question. Rephrase it. Say it again.
Okay. If he plays, well, he'll probably will. Will he be slightly affected once the World Cup starts?
Are these nerves going to get to him? You mean by the time if he plays in the World Cup?
Yeah.
You're saying, will he be ready? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
So you're asking me if a 18-year-old boy is ready to play in front of 80,000 Brazilians and Cristiano Ronaldo? No, he's not ready.
No, he's not. No.
But he may just be foolishly naive enough at 18 years old to get 20 minutes of stupid teenage adrenaline in him and do something crazy.
Look, in
a good way.
I will say this. Playing in the send-off series game won't prepare him for Brazil, but that doesn't mean he won't play and do something in Brazil. Because I will say, look, as much as I was sort of against Julian Green coming to this team, and I actually heard today through the Hang Up and Listen podcast, which is Stefan Fatsis, I think that's an NPR thing, right? He had Jonathan Hawk, one of the guys behind the Inside the U.S. Men's National Team March to Brazil, Road to Brazil, whatever that thing is, the ESPN documentary. Apparently, Jonathan Hawk said that based on their observations, there are factions forming over Julian Green being included in this team. Now, I'm not going to make that. I'm not going to blow that up into a big thing.
Factions within the camp,
within the team, over Julian Green being included, and probably over Donovan not being included. But we don't know yet. Okay, so and we don't know that this will be a problem that will affect their play. But that's the reason I didn't want him in this team, or I didn't see a place for him in this team. But it doesn't mean his talent couldn't show up and make a difference. I just don't think. He's not a.
I think more players have issue with Timothy Chandler than Julian Green, wouldn't they?
I don't know. I don't call it. You got any national team players' numbers right now? They're getting ready for a game, but you give them a call. Check it out. Like, hey, yeah,
You see if Brian Strauss can get on this.
Would you have picked Donovan over Green? Let's see.
I would have, but I'm not the coach. Yes, I would have. 100%. No doubt.
All right. Thank you.
All right, man. Appreciate the call. 201-430-2378 is the phone number. We are taking you up to kickoff as we usually do. About 15-ish minutes left until they get underway at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. Things to watch in this game, not just the way Jermaine Jones plays or how Alejandro Bedoya does on the left or how Jeff Cameron does in the middle of the defensive back line. Watch the wind. It is notoriously windy at Candlestick Park. It is going to do something to the ball at some point, and we're not going to see that in Brazil. So it's not like you're going to translate. Well,
now all I can think of now is this Disc Group put his hair in a ponytail or not.
Yeah, well, you better make sure that that's not going anywhere in the windy conditions at Candlestick Park. So that's something to watch because I think it will impact the game some way. You can't switch the ball 60 yards cross field if there are 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. You can't do it.
You can do it one way, probably not the other way. But I think it's interesting that in all the positions we talked about so far, we have yet to mention Alejandro Bedoya or Graham Zusi. And is that because we just see them as perfectly good options?
I just mentioned Bedoya. I think this is a showcase for Bedoya on the left side. We're talking about an invert. He's not going to play a winger role. You're playing a narrow formation with the diamond. So he's going to be playing that sort of inside left position. And is he capable of being the guy to make a difference in that way? Will he have an understanding with DeMarcus Beasley? Will he be able to track back and cover for DeMarcus Beasley when Beasley is pushed upfield?
What I'm really interested to see is if Alejandro Bedoya stalls in this game, does it force Klinsmann's hand at all at putting you got a right back perfectly good sitting on your bench, and you're going to play your Fabian Johnson at right back? You could put a natural left-sided attacking style midfielder that can play both ways and put Alejandro Bedoya on the bench. I get it. I like Alejandro Bedoya. I think he's played well during the last probably 6 months with the U.S. national team. I think he's done very well. But I can't look past the fact you have a little gem playing right back that could contribute someplace else on the field. 3 different positions on the field.
There are several guys in this team that could be useful in a different position. I mean, this isn't Michael Bradley's best position. It's not. It's not. Let's just say that flat out. This may be the best place for him to play in this team, considering some of the other issues they have.
Yeah, his best position is probably in a flat 4.
His best position is
box
a defensive midfielder with an eye towards that late run that you mentioned. Yeah. He can get upfield. Yeah. He can push into the attack, but you don't necessarily want him keying the attack. That's not his best position. He's capable of making a pass. Again, let's not overstate, based on one half against Mexico, let's not overstate Michael Bradley's creative ability.
Oh, but it was so good.
He's not a 10. He's not a playmaker. He is
He was that day, man.
He is a very good central midfielder who has a better ability to see a pass and pick a pass than most of the guys in this team. That's why he's there.
Let me ask you, number one thing that you're going to be looking at today from the U.S., what's the part of the field that you're going to hone in on, that you're looking forward to watching?
Considering the opposition, I'm going to be watching that back line because I think I'm always working towards the back front. I want to see defensive cohesion first. This is not that big of a test, relatively speaking, certainly not when compared to the group. But I want to see communication. I want to see Tim Howard marshaling his troops. I want to see Jeff Cameron and Matt Beasler working well together. I want to see when those fullbacks do push up. I want to see a coordinated effort to cover that space and make sure that they don't get caught out or a ball gets put in behind and you end up with a one-on-one that you just don't want.
I'm going to pick a different part of the field. I am very anxious to watch and compare the combination and chemistry of Michael Bradley and Jermaine Jones with what I saw with Michael Bradley and Kyle Beckerman against tougher competition against Mexico. I think that's going to tell, because we got to see one small glimpse of Michael Bradley in this new positioning, in this new system, and I don't know how much of it was Bradley. I don't know how much of it was Beckerman. I don't know how much of it was other things around it. I'm anxious to first of all see a second tour of duty for 90 minutes of Michael Bradley in this position, and then compare it with what I see, because the chemistry and the innate 1 and 2 touch passing between Kyle Beckerman and Michael Bradley was beautiful for that first 45 minutes against Mexico. And I want to see if the same thing can be replicated, and if it's Bradley and whoever the other piece is just ancillary, or if it's important that it's Beckerman, or if it's important that it's Jones.
Okay. Scott from LA, you're on the air.
Hey guys, soccer morning forever. Hashtag.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Go ahead.
For you.
Yeah.
Assuming this is the starting 11 and we're down 1-0 in Ghana, who would you guys peg as the 3 subs coming off the bench?
I would find a way to get Aaron Johansson on the field.
Oh, absolutely.
Depends on whether or not you're taking somebody like Josie out. If he's done it, if he's done his work and put in a shift, and
I'm gonna go a different direction. I'm gonna take Alejandro Bedoya off, move Dempsey into midfield, and put Aaron Johansson up top.
Absolutely the absolute possibility there. Yeah. 2 and 3 depends on the state of the game. If you're still chasing a goal in a must-win game, I mean, if you can do for a draw, that changes everything. If a draw is okay, changes everything. But if you absolutely need a win, it's Aaron Johansson. You might be Julian Green. I don't know. Where else?
I think 15 minutes left. You need a goal. That's one of the only places you can go.
Mixed Discarud, but again, that's essential. You maybe
that is a 60-minute sub. That's not an 85th minute sub. If you're gonna get Miguel Discarud in there off the bench, you got to bring him in with at least 30 minutes to play so you can find a rhythm of the game and really get enough touches.
In that situation, you're probably going to pull Jones off, drop Bradley back. If we're talking about this formation,
yeah,
and throw Mix in there.
So no Brad Davis.
I just don't see where his role is. No, I don't. I mean, if you're,
I'll give you one role that I see Brad Davis being used. If we're in a 1-1 draw situation, maybe you bring in someone like Brad Davis, where if you're against Portugal or something like that, and you're bunkering in, and you need to get out with that draw, and maybe threaten for a set piece, you put Brad Davis in, because if you can get a foul on the outside of the box, or if you can get something down in the corner that's a foul, you can use Brad Davis's best skills. Other than that, I don't know what his role is.
Yeah.
That's a big if, though.
Yeah, it's a lot. He's just he doesn't have. I mean, he's not a fast player. You're not going to put him in because he's speedy. You're putting him in for one special circumstances. I mean, I think he's a better passer than most people give him credit for. But unless you're talking about a very stretched game with a lot of space, especially if he can cross the ball, put the ball across the field, I just don't know where his spot is. 304, you're on the air.
Hey guys, I was just thinking about DeMarcus Beasley and that left back, and if you think this is going to be the lineup for the World Cup, I'm immediately looking ahead to Portugal, and I'm thinking about Cristiano Ronaldo. So can you imagine that matchup? Beasley guarding Ronaldo and having the responsibility to, defend him. So I just see that as an enormous mismatch. And I would have rather seen Tim Chandler in there, to be honest with you. So even though I don't know much about him, I assume he must be really good to have been, picked for this team, given the lack of commitment that he's shown.
Oh, you haven't heard? Being good isn't a prerequisite for this team.
Go ahead. You got something to get off your chest, Jared? You want to say it out again? Are we going to put it out there again?
Being a good contributor to the team is what matters. Because everyone on this team earned it, first of all, according to Clinton. Everyone on this team earned it.
Did they? Okay.
That's if you believe what you hear on ESPN.
All right. Well, again, I mean, we're still not over this. We probably won't be.
Never be over it.
There's just names there are some names in this group that make you scratch your head. You got anything else, man?
Nah, just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
I appreciate it. 619, you're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, Best Soccer Show? Enrique. Glad you guys are doing the show. Watching the Univision Deportes right now. They have like an hour show for you. So one day we'll be in English. I got to say, what else can we bring out here? I mean, yeah, we can have Fabian Johnson differently, Alejandro Bedoya differently, but my question is, I don't use Susie on FIFA 14, but I can definitely use this lineup. I'll probably, like you guys were saying, Chandler, and then move up Fabian to the midfield. Besides that, I mean, this is it. I have to agree with Klinsmann here.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. This is again, we're sort of letting this play out. Thanks for the call, Enrique. I appreciate it. We're letting this play out to see this is the first opportunity for Jurgen Klinsmann to prove on some level, considering the opposition and everything else, those are factors you take in to account here. But this is his first opportunity to prove that this team will be okay without Landon Donovan. And I don't know. Do you believe in it? Do you have any sense? I mean, I put this out there. I asked on Soccer Morning, what result would make you feel better about this team? What result would make you feel confident about this team heading into the next game and then the next game and then Brazil? Maybe there isn't a number. I mean,
a shutout and a multiple goal win.
So 2-0, 3-0 at the bear.
What's going to make me feel good about it isn't going to be the score line. I mean, for me, I'm looking for something higher level, deeper. I want to see style of play. That's what's going to do it for me. I want to see. I honestly don't care if it's a 0-0 draw and I see amazing style of play and chemistry. That's what I want to see, because I understand we have a striker that is josying for a goal. Dude, that was rough. That was forced. But I understand if we don't score a little bit, because we have a guy we're trying to get back into rhythm. I'm more concerned about seeing chemistry, attacking play.
I'm thinking about this again, and you're talking about the way the formation is going to play out, and I'm imagining a situation where Josie Altidore is playing a center forward role, and Dempsey is drifting off of him to the more towards the top of the box into the midfield, and Bradley's playing even deeper than that, and not necessarily in a position, certainly not in the hole, and not in a position where you would call him a creative influence. He's going to be cycling the ball. He's going to be the guy making that smart pass. Maybe he's the one making the entry pass into Josie, but is he going to be there to be part of that combination? Is he going to be the one to chip the ball over the top for Dempsey on a late run to the back post? I don't know. I'm seeing this. The more I think about it, the more I think we're going to end up with something closer to that 4-2-3-1 we've been talking about.
I think there's going to be large spurts where that's what we see. I don't think Azerbaijan can really push the U.S. enough to put it into a 4-2-3-1. I think maybe against Turkey or I believe Nigeria, the game after that. I think that's where you may see the U.S. getting more stuck into a 4-2-3-1 a little bit more, when Bradley's going to have to commit more to the defensive side of the ball. In this one, I think you're going to see three guys at the back for huge stretches of this, to be honest with you. The way we're expecting Beasley and Fabian Johnson to take turns bombing forward, I think you're going to see three at the back a lot.
Oh, absolutely. One of those guys will always be across the halfway line. One of those guys will always be in the attacking third, almost. I mean, if not all the way there. So you're going to see a back line. And again, it's when the ball comes the other way. Where's Jermaine Jones? That's what I want. That's what I want to know first and foremost. The ball's coming the other way. You either turn it over in the attacking third, something happens, the ball goes back to Azerbaijan. Down the line, it's going to be better teams. Where is Jermaine Jones? Is he in that position to help break up that play? Or is he out of position, either pushed left or right, or moving upfield where Bradley is more expected to play? Things to consider here.
Yeah, I think I know I mentioned the center of the field, center and midfield is my place to watch, but secondary thing for me is just to see who goes forward, with what frequency from the fullback positions, and how effective they are going forward. I honestly think I wouldn't be surprised if you see DeMarcus Beasley with an assist in this game. I think the few games where he's had freedom to go forward, he's actually contributed pretty well to the attack. No one's ever said DeMarcus Beasley isn't decent running the line and getting into good offensive positions. It's the defensive side that everyone is hesitant on, and I don't know that we're going to see anything that's going to push him on that side today. The next two games are where I'm really going to focus in more on Beasley as a defensive option, and to see how good he is, because with his club team, we don't really get to see this. It's just when he comes to the national team, we really see him pushed on the defensive side.
Do you want to know squad numbers? You care about squad numbers at all? Are you one of those guys?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Well, Grant Wallace just tweeted out your USA World Cup squad numbers as determined, I'm assuming, by a little bit of negotiation behind the scenes, a little bit of Jurgen Klinsmann. Howard, Yedlin, Gonzalez, Bradley, 1, 2, 3, 4. Beasler, 5. John Brooks, 6. DeMarcus Beasley, 7. Dempsey, 8. Johansson,
Not 2.
Not 2. I don't think he was going to get.
He goes 8 with the national team, 2 with the club team, huh?
Yes. Johansson is 9. Diskerud 10. Bedoya 11. Guzan 12. Jones 13. Davis 14. Beckerman 15. Green 16. Altidore 17. That's his usual number. Wondolowski 18. Zusi 19. And Cameron 20.
One thing I think is kind of cool about that, and if I remember correctly,
I got 3 more, by the way. Sorry.
Chandler
21. Chandler 21, Ramondo 22, Johnson 23. There you go.
If I remember correctly, and in the short piece that the ESPN Road to Brazil special that's been on weekly, they featured Kyle Beckerman, and I think he signed his notes to his mom back in the day. Kyle Beckerman, number 15, USA. I think that's what that. If I remember right, I think that's how he signed the letters to his mom when he was a kid.
I know he signed. I remember that piece. It was the MLS Insider piece, right? Was that what it was? Or no,
Yeah.
it was part of the road.
It was the last like 2 weeks.
Yes, it was part of the road to Brazil. I do remember him signing USA, but I if that's the number, then that's pretty cool. That's really. I think
that's awesome if that's what it actually is, because how cool is it that you get to come true on something like that?
Yeah, I that's a dream. I can't even imagine that. All right,
any issue for you with mixed disc crew getting the 10? It seems the natural choice, right?
It's the only choice that makes any sense whatsoever.
If you're mixed disc crew, do you want to be the next guy to wear that after Landon Donovan?
No, probably not. But you're not going to get a choice either.
I'm interested to find out. I don't know if we ever will. If it was Klinsmann's choice or his choice.
Well, what is he going to do? Ask for volunteers?
So Beckerman just happened to get 15, and Deuce just happened to get 8. I mean, I'm sure there's a part of it like someone might have said, "Hey, if no one's going to take it, I'll take the number 10."
Breaking news: Clint Dempsey out of the lineup. Chris Wondolowski in. Dempsey with some soreness in his groin. Precautionary, says U.S. Soccer.
Warm up Landon Donovan. Get him on a plane.
Stop. If Clint Dempsey has anything even approaching a twinge of any muscle whatsoever, you sit him down. You don't risk him at all. No. So I'm fine with that.
This pisses me off because now I've missed an opportunity to learn something. And now everything is going to be like, oh, but Clint Dempsey wasn't in there.
Sure. And if Wondolowski scores 3 times, everybody will discount it because it's Azerbaijan.
Okay, who scores first in this game? Josie Altidore or Chris Wondolowski?
You're assuming one of them will definitely score.
If one of them scores, which one's doing it?
My money's on Wondo.
I think so too. Hometown crowd, fairly hometown crowd in Bay Area.
Yeah. By the way, confirmation that Kyle Beckerman, this is from our friend Thomas Floyd from Open Wide for some soccer and Goal.com. He did sign it, USA number 15. So
that's cool. That's damn cool.
Comes true for Kyle Beckerman. You can't beat that. All right. I believe we're getting ready for anthems. I'm not sure where we are in the process here. We're back in the studio with Bob Lee and Alexi Lawless. So we will keep you here until kickoff or until a couple of minutes before kickoff. Last thoughts here as we get ready to do this. This is when everything gets serious. Okay, everything blew up on Thursday with the announcement of the roster, but we've got a solid 33 now. We didn't even know we were going to have a locked in. Sorry, 23. We didn't know we were going to have a locked in 23 when the send-off series starts. But here we are with the team. When you look at this, when you consider it's Azerbaijan in the opening game, when you consider that Bertie Votes is on the other sideline, when you consider possibly the weather impact on this, when you consider the lineup that Jurgen Klinsmann has chosen for this game, again, what we're looking for here, Jared, isn't necessarily 3-0, 4-0. I'm looking for a dominant performance because you have no reason not to dominate the ball and the game. And I'm going to talk about pass the ball around a little bit. I'm talking about creating chances. That's what I want to see attacking-wise. I want to see a clean sheet. I'm more worried about the back line than I am anything else at the moment. But I want to see those chances happen.
I think I want to see. This is going to be interesting to me because I think it's odd that they picked Chris Wondolowski over Aaron Johansson to come in to play alongside Josie Altidore. And I want to see why that is because to me, Aaron Johansson is the more off striker to Josie Altidore than Chris Wondolowski. I don't necessarily see how those two guys are going to play together. Granted, Josie doesn't play like a classic 9. Neither of these guys are a classic 9. But Aaron Johansson's speed and ball at his feet ability and ability to get behind defenses, I think plays better against what Josie's strengths are. Chris Wondolowski and Josie, I'm interested to see how that's going to play. Chris Wondolowski, I think, is going to get sucked wide a little bit more, and he's going to try to come inside. I don't know how those two games play off each other. I think that makes it harder for Michael Bradley, to be honest with you.
Do you? Okay, fair enough. We'll see how that goes.
Because I think Michael Bradley's game is perfectly suited to thread a ball behind a defense to a runner. And I think that's what Aaron Johansson can bring to this. I don't know what Chris Wondolowski's game, what part of Michael Bradley's game benefits Chris Wondolowski's game, other than get the ball in, hopefully it pings off someone, and Wando's great at knowing where that ball's going to land.
Again, if you are going to play wide with your fullbacks, if you're going to push your fullbacks up and you're going to try to create chances in that way, then maybe you want Chris Wondolowski in the game for those back post runs, because he is extremely adept at that. Finding those little pockets. Maybe we're not talking about a cross necessarily, certainly not in the air, but he knows how to get into it. It doesn't matter, back post, near post. He knows how to make the right run to help his fullback, whoever's overlapping, whoever's getting into the corner, find the right opportunity. And we just need those guys to play the right ball. Because I have faith, at least in this game. I don't know how it'll play out against Turkey or Nigeria or at the World Cup, but I have faith that in this game, Chris Wondolowski will find those little pockets of space. It's up to those players around him to get him the ball.
This just in, by the way, as well. Clint Dempsey's groin is a Landon Donovan fan. They say the ball never lies. The groin may never lie as well.
The groin may never lie. All right, we've got flags out. It looks like a nice crowd out at Candlestick Park, which is coming down soon.
Okay, I just tell the Best Soccer Show listeners to look for my brother. He's got a huge Landon Donovan head that he's brought in. Like, it's 20 legal size papers collage to make one big picture of Landon Donovan. I just got a text saying he took about 500 pictures of people on the way in. So someone get my brother on TV.
There you go. Get Jared Dubois' brother. What's your brother's name?
Steven. He's the handsomer Dubois.
The handsomer Dubois. Get the better looking.
If that's possible, believe it or not.
The Azerbaijani national anthem, the March of Azerbaijan, is being played, or I'm assuming played, in the stadium at the moment. So I suppose
on that note, that's our cue.
I suppose we should wrap things up, let people go and enjoy the U.S. national anthem, because, patriotism and everything. All right, give me a scoreline, quick.
3-0.
3-0 to the United States. I'm gonna stick with that as well. I think Chris Wondolowski gets one. I think I'll give Josie.
I'm calling DeMarcus Beasley assist.
DeMarcus Beasley assist. I got Josie. I've got Chris Wondolowski, and Michael Bradley. He'll toss one in as well.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
There you go. Maybe from a set piece. All right, that's going to do it. We will be back at halftime. Join us then to review the first 45 minutes. Best Soccer Show, North American Soccer Network, NASN.TV. We'll see ya. Enjoy the game.